I sniffed? No, just kidding. So this is video for the 1,000 subscribers, and I made a little image to attach to this that is not hockey related, because this is not a hockey video. Now, I did do something today where I basically backed up my CD case and my dresser away from the couch. It's hot out. Now, it's gotten kind of cloudy, so you know, it's better than it was, but fucking camera. But tomorrow it's supposed to start cooling down. Now, tomorrow there's two dealies getting in the way of me being able to fix everything and make everything wonderful. My son and I are going to see two movies. Okay. There's a reason why the thumbnail I'm going to use for this is not wrestling related. It is wrestling related. Actually, it's not hockey related. And Doctor Who related if you're a Doctor Who fan. But tomorrow we're going to see Don't Breathe and Suicide Squad. Now, Suicide Squad is my way of convincing him to go see Don't Breathe. Because Don't Breathe is going to scare the shit out of both of us. I know it is. It is a psychological thriller from Fede Alvarez, who made the Evil Dead remake. And he has got Jane Levy to star in this movie as well. I didn't even recognize her in the commercial until about the 15th time I saw it. I'm like, that's Jane Levy. Oh my god. So she was Mia in Evil Dead. She was in Suburgatory, a show that hardly anybody watched. That's why it got canceled after 2 seasons. But I love her. She's absolutely fantastic. I think her work in the Evil Dead remake was awesome, and I really, really can't wait to see another movie where she's working with Fede and she has a chance to really, hopefully, blow my mind in this. She's blonde though, and I'm not a big fan of the blonde thing. She should stay with her red hair or the dark hair she had in Evil Dead. So I guess she's worked with all three hair colors. She had her natural red hair for Suburgatory. She colored her hair brown for Evil Dead, and now it's blonde for this movie, for Don't Breathe. I don't like the blonde, but it's fine. I'm sure by the end of the movie I will think, you know what, this is great, this is perfect, this is fine. And then Suicide Squad's whatever. So we're doing that tomorrow. I want to do it in the afternoon so that it's over and done with. We've watched movies. We've had our adventure. Tonight I was going to go into the P&E and watch Olivia Newton-John, but because of a lot of other things that have been going on, I didn't do that. A friend of mine from work, Larry, I went with him to the EI office this morning. Our workplace made it very difficult for him to work. He's 6 months away from retirement age anyways. He's 65 in January. And rather than just allow him to do the job he'd always done, they started demanding a bunch of extra things of him. And I'm sorry, but when you're 64 and you've worked hard jobs your whole life, being expected to work a bunch of jobs that you're not used to doing, they're going to do a number on your body. So he's been forced to basically retire early, which is it's too bad because I really like Larry and I like working with him, and I'm going to miss the guy. So it was nice to help him out with the EI and go down, and I went through the computer stuff with him and made sure, you know, everything was all fine and he'll get his benefits that he needs. But it's hard because that could be me. That could easily be me. I'm only 20, 21 years younger than him. That could easily be me in 21 years. So, you know, it does give me pause, and it's one of those things where when I think about this channel and I'm at 1,000 subscribers, and honestly, you know, I look at the job I do, and there's a lot of potentials. Whenever you do a job where it's manual labor, there's a potential. And whether you're in construction, you work in a lumber yard, lumber mill, there's potential. And anybody who works in those jobs, you know where I'm going with this. There's the potential for an injury. There's a potential for an injury which could be debilitating. And it's there. And every workplace can do everything they can and every safety precaution is exercised. But the risk will always be there. And you know, it's something that does cross my mind because I've known people and know people through even my work that things have happened that were outside of their control, and I'm not blaming a company here. This is not to be all shitty about things. Things happen, okay? Life happens. When I look at this channel and I'm at 1,000 subscribers, and you know, I'm gonna use money that goes into my account at the end of September, or I'm gonna use money before then to make a set and make this look professional-ish. I don't want to get too professional because part of the reason this channel's grown is because I'm not professional-ish. So, you know, I at the beginning there was a lot more complaining about the content and about the way I do my videos, a lot more than I see now, which tells me that I've got a certain niche that I have found, and I have a certain segment of fans who like what I produce. And they hit the subscribe button and they hit like on my videos and they share my videos, and I do see the number of shares go up and down and up, and it does make me think, okay, when I do the preview videos, they get shared more often. When I go off track, they get shared more often. And it does, you know, lead me to say, okay, I'm probably better off doing these kinds of videos. Um, for instance, when I do the Calgary preview tomorrow, I would expect that that would get me a lot of views, probably going to get a lot of shares, likes. There'll be dislikes too, because if I say Calgary makes the playoffs, Edmonton fans will hit dislike. I'm just kidding. The fans of other teams who don't want to see Calgary succeed would hit dislike. If I said, well, Calgary's not going to make the playoffs, then Flames fans will hit dislike. This is just what I've learned with like and dislike. Now, in the YouTube world, that used to matter. If you spammed a popular video with dislikes, it wouldn't show up in recommended videos. It wouldn't show up on the homepage. It wouldn't be promoted at all. Somewhere along the way, as people abused that, YouTube realized this is probably not a good way to decide what video to promote. So they went strictly by view count, and I think revenue generation, um, and interaction between the channel's uh, administrator, with me, and subscribers, who's everybody watching this. And it's frustrating for some content creators because they get a lot of thumbs up and they get a lot of people who enjoy their stuff, but their view counts drop because they don't get promoted like they used to, because that's not the only criteria that YouTube follows anymore. So I'm in a position now where I've made significant inroads. I measure myself in terms of percentage against other channels, well-known channels. So if I can say, well, I have 2% of the subscribers that person X has, and a half of a percent as many as person Y has, that's not bad. And it sounds horrible, but it's not bad when you consider I've done no advertising, which is going to change. When the money comes in, I will start putting money into advertising the channel because I know that will attract more viewers, more subscribers. It'll also attract more criticism, which is fine. The one thing I find odd is when people call me out and they go, "Ah, you were wrong." It's an opinion. I at no point say I am the great mighty psychic, except I did say it was Eichel's third year. Uh, Massive brain cramp on that I will completely blame on the fact that it was 30 degrees at 9 o'clock this morning, which is obnoxious. It's obnoxious and it's wrong. Now it got up to 34. Now we've got cloud cover, which means it's going to get really humid really fast. And if it gets humid and it doesn't rain, and I don't get a thunderstorm for this, and I saw swirly clouds out there earlier, and those tell me thunderstorms. You know the clouds I'm talking about, and I want one because we need it desperately. We don't need the lightning in the forests around here. That's a bad thing, but the rain we need because it's going to clear the humidity out of the air and hopefully the pollen out of the air, and I can stop sneezing my face off every time I go out the door. The pollen's been bad this summer. Now, why would I have 3 PSDs on this wonderful image that I'm going to upload with this video that are not related to hockey. First off, I did try to download and integrate PSDs that are hockey related, but because Windows 10 and because it's not my old computer, the system by which I would download WinZip files and open them, WinZip's no longer free. WinRAR installed, opened the files, and then GIMP 2 wouldn't find them. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I had this beautiful metallic looking Bruins logo I was going to put in the background. I was going to fade it out so that you could see the outline of it and you could see the B kind of, and then I was going to have these three girls in front of it. I was like, this is going to look great. The girls are from the left. She now goes by the name Liv Morgan in NXT. Gianna Diadrio was her name before that. I'm not even sure of her real name. Wrestling changes, WWE changes the names of women constantly. She is probably the best looking girl in wrestling, and for that reason alone, I hope she does well, and she's one I'm predicting to do well. Down in the lower right-hand corner, you'd see an image of Mandy Leon. Mandy Leon is a wrestler in ROH. ROH is independent wrestling in front of 300-400 people. These guys don't get paid a ton of money. Wrestlers don't get paid a ton of money anyways, unless you're one of the big 5 or 10 names. And Mandy's very good at what she does. She's got Chris Jericho's moveset down crazy well. And in terms of my favorites, Mandy Leon is, without a doubt, probably number 1 on my list right now. Hopefully WWE smartens up and signs her. But part of the reason I canceled the WWE Network is because what had started out in NXT as this great rookie up-and-coming unknowns has turned into TNA well-known wrestlers. Basically, as soon as Bobby Roode came out, I'm like, okay, he's been wrestling for 15 years on nationwide television. You can argue TNA, whatever, but TNA's had nationwide deals. And for you guys to put him in with the rookies, and he's just going to squash rookies, this destroys the point of having your developmental league. No different than taking an NHL-ready player, sticking him in the American Hockey League, so he can beat the crap out of the AHL for a while. He doesn't need to be down there. He's not going to learn anything. He's just going to squash people. The difference is, hockey players are, 20 members of a team, and you're, if you get overrun by Connor McDavid because he's in the AHL for some reason, it's not going to affect your career. But if you're a rookie trying to expose yourself as a wrestler to the rest of the world as look what I can do, and they go, we're going to feed you to this veteran who's coming in who's almost 40 years old, you're going to be like, why am I in developmental? I can go up to the main roster and get squashed. So, it's one of those things. And then in the middle is the lovely, talented, and personable Jenna Coleman, who played Clara on Doctor Who, and I will forever be sad that she's no longer on the show, but I will give the new companion a try. It is not going to be easy because I'm not a big fan of the test footage they released for the new companion. I just don't like it. I don't think it's going to be a good addition. But that's me, and I hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully. But if I can go see those movies tomorrow, it'll be fantastic. And in the meantime, we have passed the 1,000 subscriber threshold. Now, what this does is it means that I can create paid content. I don't like it. I can do it though. And just seeing that in my dashboard saying, look, you can do this, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool that I can create paid content, meaning I can create a video, and then if you guys want to watch it, you got to give me money to see it. I'm not fucking doing that. That's really an asshole move. That's something that, for premium channel, I could see it. For if I made a movie and put it online, it's a 90-minute movie. Yeah, $3 for views of a movie I made. I'm not making movies here. I'm sitting on my couch talking about hockey, and I'm holding a sonic screwdriver and talking about Doctor Who. I don't want people to have to pay for that. Even if guys are like, well, we'll pay you. I don't want it. Now, if you guys are hearing the beep in my ear, it's because I've got Gmail open and now a Hangout is leaving me messages. I don't like Hangouts. I need to go in and change it so that it doesn't give me that bleep every 3 seconds. I'm up to 3 of them. And if I get it, well, it'll still do it on my desktop, though. It just, Sonics don't work that way. They don't work on wood. Anyway, it was funny. There was a point last week at work where I said to somebody, something wasn't working, and I said, we should just, if we had a sonic screwdriver, that would make things so much easier. And he goes, it's wood. They don't work on wood. And I was like, damn it, you're right. And it was one of those moments where myself and this other person, we were the only ones that understood, and anybody around us went, what? The hell is the sonic screwdriver? What are they talking? It doesn't work on wood. What does that mean? How can a screwdriver not work on wood? But yeah, and I've also considered, and I will try, I'm going to start a TV/movie related channel. I was going to do just a Doctor Who related channel, but I'm going to do one that's related to TV shows I watch, movies I watch. I'll do movie reviews. I'll do reviews of episode Doctor Who, Killjoys, Dark Matter, Orphan Black. I'll do all kinds of that sort of stuff. I get a little concerned because that is a very crowded marketplace, and a lot of the channels that do the reviews have all kinds of pretty graphics and pretty girls with the graphics. Intimidatingly pretty girls that do these channels. So I'm not a pretty girl. I have my limitations. Or I know my limitations. There's certain things I go, I can do that. I can do that. I can't be a pretty girl. I can't do that. So I can make things look a little more professional. I can, hopefully when I get this backdrop, hopefully the cats don't just rip it down every friggin' time I put it up. I have my concerns with that. I have to figure out how to anchor it while I'm doing videos, keep Shadow and Bear from using it to climb, and make sure that I take it down at the end of videos because Shadow and Bear like to climb. It's their favorite thing to do. They're not old and fat enough yet to realize that climbing everything isn't a good idea. It is a fun day when you have a cat and they realize they can't climb anymore because they get angry with you for the fact they're fat because you're feeding them, I guess. I remember Link. He used to climb everything, and he used to be able to jump. You know, if I had my hand over my head on the wall and I tapped the wall, he could almost hit my hand. He could jump almost 6 feet in the air. Now, I don't know if he could jump 6 inches, and I don't think he's gonna bother. He's a cat. He's fat. He's huge. He's got to be 16, 17 pounds. And for that reason, he don't jump no more. So until I don't think Bear's ever going to get fat, but he's going to be a fat kitty. He's about 12 pounds right now, I would say. So give him another 5 pounds and he'll be like, yeah, I'll climb that later. No, I can climb it. I just not right now. Stop. Are you laughing at me? And he'll try to climb. It'll be like Link. The first few times he tried climbing when he couldn't do it, he'd just run his face into things. So it was like he would go to do the jump and then his feet were like, oh, I can't lift this. And then his face would just, so, which was awesome. I I love cats for that. I really do. Um, and I'm well aware this is kind of over the place. Thus the 1,000 subscriber thumbnail that I will have attached to this video. If you come in here by accident, you're not a subscriber to my channel. My channel's all hockey. You probably shouldn't be here if you don't like hockey, but I will have other channels up soon, and I will link them to this video. And for my subscribers who are like, well, I'll watch your TV and movie stuff, awesome. Come over with me, and we'll have some fun together. And I'll make sure that I swear less, in theory. I shouldn't. I say that, yet I'm thinking, well, I shouldn't be as passionate as I am about things like Matt Cook and Ryan Kessler, but there are times where Doctor Who did Sleep No More, and I got really angry at the show because it was a great season, and then Sleep No More happened, and I'm like, wait a minute. So they're monsters made from the sleep in your eye. No, no, fuck you, show. Just seriously, fuck you. I'm not doing this. And my review for Sleep No More is, as far as I remember, it's pretty coarse. I was not happy after that episode. So, and it's because when you've got a show, now my phone's bleeping every 3 seconds. This is going to drive me insane. When when you're watching a show and it's going really, really well, and then they do an episode that's just a piece of shit. And the best part is, Series 10 of Doctor Who comes out in the spring, and apparently Mark Gatiss has been brought in to write a sequel to Sleep No More, which is more about the monsters made out of the sleep in your eye, which is two things: stupid and disgusting. I just, I, I don't see the point in doing a sequel to an episode that almost every Doctor Who fan I saw online hated. All hated. Completely hated. I don't see the point. I really, really don't. And it was like, at the time that that episode was released, Mark Gatiss said, well, we really like this, and Stephen Moffat wants me to come back and do another episode about it. And I'm thinking, wait, how can you guys already be planning a sequel to an episode that you haven't released yet? And the fans hated it. You have plenty of time in between when the first one's put on the air to cancel the idea for the second one. Go, you know what? The fans really hated this idea. And knowing my luck, it'll be tied into how this doctor dies, that it'll be the sleep monsters that kill him, and that'll be the end of season 10, and then I'll just want to punch myself in the face, as if I drafted Mike Ribeiro. I didn't get my jersey today. I was really hoping for the Florida jersey. It didn't come today. Now, Canada Post is apparently going on strike. It's not going to be a full strike, but I think what they're going to do is that if you get a government check, you'll still get it. But if you're waiting for a parcel or a letter mail and it's not official Canada Post delivery from the government of Canada or from one of your bills, say Shaw, uh, Tears and Gas, whatever, you're not going to get it. Not on time. It's going to take a long while. So now I'm stuck where I'm not going to be able to order from eBay for a while. And that ticks me off just a little bit. But I wasn't going to order for the next 2 weeks anyways. The only splurge I can really afford off this paycheck that I got today is the 2 movies that I will go with my son to. And it's kind of our last hurrah for the summer. And I will do the Calgary preview before I go to that movie. And then when I come home, I'll do my other 2 videos of the day. So I'm very grateful to each and every subscriber I have. We're not going to agree on everything. I don't expect you to agree on everything. And I don't have a problem with people who think I'm an idiot and subscribe just to tell me that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I am not the brightest. That's right. I think Jordan on Big Brother said I'm not the smartest crayon in the box, or the brightest crayon in the box. It was something along those lines. It was an amazing line. I think it was I'm not the smartest crayon in the box. Like, wow, you definitely aren't the smartest crayon. But she was cute though, and that's what's important. So she's pretty. So you get on Big Brother because you're pretty. For fans who watch this from other countries, I recently had a guy from Russia comment on my Russians comparing '87 to now, the Soviets, and he agreed with me. So people went right away like, well, that was the Soviet Union and Russia, and he agreed with me. He was like, no, they were better, and he never said, oh, we were the Soviet Union and now it's Russia and it's completely different. I'm like, you know what? A Russian who's my age agreed with me. That's pretty cool. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who's come in and subscribed and gone through my videos. And between my views on the Canadian teams at the end of the regular season, where I saw them going, predicting opening night rosters, and now previewing the 16-17 season, kind of just, putting my balls in the vise and seeing if it gets twisted shut or if I'm going to be freed, it's fun. Honestly, it's fun. I enjoy doing this. So thank you for rewarding me for something I enjoy. Other than my books, there hasn't really been me getting rewarded for anything I enjoy for a long time. There was one activity I enjoyed quite a bit, but my wife left. So that's out the window. And it could be out the window for quite a while. And that's fine. Because I have videos to kill time. I have video games. I have TV. Don't forget NHL 17. I'm getting that in a month. And when I get it, I will start to be a GM. And I'm going to go through gradually. So it's not going to be one of these I'm rushing through. I've seen the videos where guys are like, all right, we're going to do the re-signing phase, da 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 da, and then like 10 minutes later, it's all done. I'm going to go through and show how painstakingly I try to put together the perfect team. What I qualify as the perfect team, which nobody else would agree with. But that's what's important, is that I enjoy it. And I enjoy having this channel to keep me company during the day when I'm at work and I'm not happy, and knowing that I get support. I have a Patreon channel which I launched today, but I still don't know what I'm doing with it, so I'm not posting it here, and I'm not taking any donations of any sort at this point, because I would need to have a project. And I say, okay, this is my project, and then I would feel okay with it. Until then, I don't want any support financially from my channel, ad revenues or whatever they are. If I can get $100 a month, I get $100 a month. If I get more than that, awesome. And then I put a lot of that money back into the channel is my plan. So, I mean, if I can take the money that I get in September and use it to build a set on this side where I've got my jerseys displayed for each video, talk about the Leafs. I'll have Leafs jerseys all the way across in the background, Canucks jerseys all the way across in the background. And then I can also use some of that money to get some of the junk I've had laying around here for a long time taken away. Just some guy with a truck call him up here and say, just take her. All this shit in the corner, take it, get it the fuck out of here. I don't want to see it again. Stuff that I really need to do. And I will do. So, thank you. You guys have been a motivator. And I am grateful for that. And that's not going to change whether this channel goes to 5, 6, 7,000 subscribers or whether it drops back down to 980. I'm grateful for where things are at right now. I have no huge ambitions, but I will advertise the channel when money's coming in. I will make ads to advertise the channel strategically, because those ad campaigns can be pricey. I've looked into them and they're pricey. So if you really want to draw subscribers, anyways, they're pricey. And that's the important thing here. Because at the end of the day, if I can ever reach a point in my life where I make enough money off YouTube and off books that I've published online, that this can be my job, and I can give you guys my energy and my time, and I can really do a professional job of things, and then any other money that I might need may come in through, say, Lids or CCM or Bauer or some company that goes, hey, I want this guy to wear our stuff. We'll pay him. He'll wear our stuff. He'll advertise us. I have no problem being a corporate shill. When when Krusty the Clown decides he's not a corporate shill and then he shills out for the Canyon Arrow, that is one of the greatest moments in the history of The Simpsons. And I'm like, you know what? Krusty's right. Because it's just, it's part of the game. I will say this, though. I would never endorse something. I would never promote a product that I don't either wear myself, use myself, or have belief in. So I would never actually endorse a product and then when the camera's shut off go, this is shit. But at least you're giving me money. Never happen. I could never do that. I am sure there are a lot of people that do it. I couldn't do it. No way. There's just no chance. So, anyways, that's it. Video for my 1,000 subscribers. High 5 or high 10, hang 10. And without you guys, none of this is happening. So I owe you, and I will make it up to you guys when I see a little bit of cash in my account, and I go, you know what? That goes back to the channel. And it will. My spending habits on jerseys will be curtailed from here because I've got all the jerseys I need. There are a couple out there that I want, but in general, I've got all the jerseys I need. I could probably order like one a month from here forward, and there'd be months where I couldn't find one I really wanted, so I'd just skip it. I really went out a month ago, and actually over the whole summer, I've gone out and I've really completed that collection, and I've closed up a lot of holes that I felt that my jersey collection had. The St. Louis Blues one. That third jersey I got this week, that closed up a rather large hole I felt I had with the Blues jersey that I bought, which was their regular road jersey at the time, instead of the third jersey, because the third jersey was an extra $20. I should have spent the extra $20. Now, it's not a big deal. I have both. So when I do a St. Louis preview, I can have both jerseys behind me on a backdrop. This is going to be good. And I'll talk to you again soon.